In this video, I will be covering color and relief in plane polarized light. Here we are working with a transmitted light microscope, where light is directed up through the slide. To get started, I set up a slide on the stage of my microscope. Then I focus. Now I can begin to make observations in polarized light. The first distinction we can make is whether a material is transparent or opaque. This is an example of a petrographic thin section. Some distinct grains do not let light pass through. These are known as opaque minerals, and we cannot characterize them any further on this type of microscope. The surrounding minerals that allow light to pass through are transparent. Let's talk about color. Whenever I talk about color, I am specifically referring to the observed color, or lack of color, under plane polarized light only. Notice that some minerals, like this brown one in the center of my view, changes color when I rotate the stage. This property is known as pleochroism and is specific to certain minerals. Next, we will learn about the optical property of relief. In order to understand relief, we must first be aware that each mineral has its own unique index of refraction. The index of refraction is a way to describe how light propagates through a material. Relief is the result of a difference in the index of refraction between the mineral and its surroundings. We describe relief in two parts. It is positive or negative, and then high, medium, or low. Here, we are looking at a grain mounted in epoxy in plane polarized light. In order to determine relief, center and focus the grain. Switch to a higher objective for a larger image, and adjust the diaphragm under the microscope, which will aid in contrast visibility. Notice as we focus in and out, there is a faint white line moving in and out of the grain border. This is known as the Becky line. Becky is our best friend. The Becky line will always move into the material with a higher index of refraction when the stage is being lowered. Here I am lowering the stage. Since the Becky line is moving into our mineral as the stage is being lowered, the mineral displays a positive relief. In this example, as I lower the stage, we see that the Becky line moves out of the mineral. This means that this mineral has negative relief. Next, we will determine if a mineral has low, medium, or high relief. We do this by observing the appearance of the thickness of the grain boundary. A very faint line has low relief, while a very dark line is considered high relief. Here's an example of a mineral with high relief. Notice how the appearance of the grain boundary is significantly thick and quite pronounced. Now let's take a look at a petrographic thin section instead of a grain mount. Let's concentrate on the brown mineral on the left. Now, observe the direction of movement of the Becky line as I lower the stage. Does this mineral display positive or negative relief? If you answered positive, you are correct. Now, let's take another look to determine if this mineral has high, medium, or low relief. This grain boundary is not very faint. It is also not very pronounced. Therefore, we can say that this mineral is displaying positive, medium relief. Some minerals display different relief along different planes. In this grain mount, we are looking at the center mineral. Here, as I rotate the stage, the border changes from faint to distinct, showing a range from medium to high relief. What we can also see is the Becky line moving in and out of the mineral at the same time. Notice that at the top it moves out, while at the bottom it moves in. In this mineral, light behaves differently depending on orientation. This property is known as anisotropy and will be explored in the following modules. Here are some things to remember and some helpful tips. For finding the Becky line, stay in plane polarized light. Adjusting the amount of light and the diaphragm may aid in visibility of the Becky line. For finding relief, the Becky line always moves into the material with a higher index of refraction as you lower the stage. Take note of which direction you need to turn the focus knobs in order to lower the stage. And lastly, pay attention to the two materials because relief is relative.